what's up, man? I will be your translator. My name is Andres, and I will be ready wherever Jhon has to tell you. For us, it's a pleasure to have you here in the channel, man.
Awesome, thank you.
Que bienvenido, gracias por la oportunidad. Yo quisiera preguntarle sobre un proyecto que la verdad me pareció interesante, que fue tus inicios en el 2018, y es Core All Apers.
Yes, man, let's go back with the start of your career back in the early years. Tell us about your experience in Court of Appeals, man.
My early experience with Court of Appeals was really it was my first one. The director was a prior law enforcement officer as well, and I was prior law enforcement. I'm actually retired now. I'm disability retired from law enforcement. I used to be a corrections officer, which is a prison guard in the California prison system. And I met him, went for an audition. And because we were fellow law enforcement, the role that I played was a police officer in a coffee shop. So that's where I got my start from. That's where I got my first credit from. Like, that's where it all just started from there.
Hay una participación tuya que se trata sobre la humanidad del ser humano, que se trata de una caracterización. Es increíble porque trata de encontrarse a sí mismo en varias situaciones. Entonces yo te quiero preguntar si esa historia te conmovió en alguna parte, como para centrar la realidad, como casi en todos los roles de un actor.
Man, your experience in the opiate diaries. The question that Jhon got is, working in this project somehow moves you or make you think about the world that we live now? When you work on the opiate diaries.
A lot of stresses that people go through, mainly a lot of PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder. I love doing those kinds of roles because a lot of people suffer from a lot of different things, whether it be from drug abuse, alcoholism, or anything like that. So it's nice to be able to put yourself. I myself have never suffered from any of those diseases myself, but it is nice to be able to put myself in those people's shoes to be able to see, okay, these are what these people go through in life. How can I try to help bring more awareness to what happens to these poor people and how they could possibly seek help? That was my role in that film, where it was someone who had PTSD, and I played the psychic lieutenant giving the evaluation. But yeah, no, doing those things is what I love doing the most, is being able to tell those stories that help other people see what they may not see other people going through.
Wow, man. Eso significa que tras de que debutas, inicias con una historia reconfortante, pasas a una historia totalmente fuera de lo normal, que obviamente participa con Downa, Vida Ghaffari, Mike Ferguson. Entonces, no solo es experimentar la visión de un director como lo es Dusty Ferguson, pero también te pregunto sobre cómo es trabajar con Mike, con Downa y con Vida, porque son increíbles.
But in the channel, we got people that are now our friends. Mike Ferguson, Downa Lee Hazing, Vida Ghaffari, they all worked in Mono, the Blood Beast. Man, how was working with these great cast in this project with Dustin Ferguson? Like we say, they are friends now of the channel. So tell us, how was this experience in this movie with this cast?
They're all very talented. They all have something to bring to the table. They all have years of experience behind them. So me having just a few years, they actually had a lot more years than me in acting. So it's always, it's very humbling to be around people like that who can show you and will take you under their wing, per se, to want to show you how acting is in this certain role, or portraying yourself as this character, being able to dive deeper. But working with those people, I have nothing but good things to say about them. They all do a fantastic job. Anytime they ever get on set, it's all business, and they know exactly what they're doing.
También es importante no solo saber sobre el trabajo de todos ellos. Yo estoy imaginando que hay una producción que la verdad me pareció como súper distinta con K-Man, que participó en este anterior proyecto, pero Future Fear. Future Fear es algo sobre arqueológico, algo sobre la ciencia ficción. ¿Cómo cree que esta película pueda avanzar un poco más? ¿Qué aprendió sobre aquella historia, sobre el futuro?
Yes, how was your experience and your work and the vision that you got in the project Future Fear?
Future Fear, that one was actually my buddies. Or actually, let me look up my IMDb here so I can. I've done so many films. I have to kind of go back and take a look at them. Oh, that one. So that was if I'm not mistaken, that was a compilation that my friend did where he was able to take a few of our other friends' short films and put the work we did in that short film. The director of that film and maker of that of Future Fear worked with me on another short film where we were able to take that footage and put it into. So it was a compilation of different things. But that one was lovely. That's the first time I ever worked in a desert type scene in the middle of the night, like at 2, 3 in the morning. That was very different, going through the dirt and whatnot, just being able to be in that playing field, just being in the desert and portraying aliens and all those kinds of things like that. That was one of my first experiences doing that. It was fun.
Hay dos producciones que son bastante innovadoras. Primero, Apes Predators. Conocemos a nuestra querida amiga Dauna. Está también próximamente Cherry Davis y está Melkova, el Colio. Entonces, tras una bastante personaje que es ahí recurrente, ¿cómo fue no solo la experiencia ante una historia totalmente alocada, sino también en cómo fue la experiencia en SEAL Teams, que es una serie de televisión que es lo lo último que se está hablando? Sobre qué opinas sobre la realidad de las misiones de los SEALs.
Somehow, Jhon mixed two projects. Apex Predators, again with Dustin, with Dauna, with Melkova, with Cherry Davis, that will be later on the channel. And your experience also in SEAL Teams. Both projects in the sea, different visions, but tell us about these two projects, man, Apex Predators and SEAL Teams.
So that was the first time I got to work with like Sherry Davis and let's see, I believe Mel Novak was in that, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I got to work with Mel Novak. He's a very, very talented actor who's been around for a long, long time. I didn't get to work a scene with Donna Lee Helsing or not, but just working with those people, that was another one. That was another total different realm that I have never been in before. That was actually my second film that I did with Dustin Ferguson. Before we did, that was my second film I did with Dustin before I did Axe Grinder with him. Apex was good though. That was just a simple few scenes that he had used me on. SEAL Team I did, that was actually when I was very starting out in acting, but being featured on that show. To be on SEAL Team is, once again, like what I said earlier, being able to, because that show itself talks about how our Navy SEALs in America go through such hard times. They're asked to do so many things that we as normal people wouldn't do. So I myself am not military. I'm ex-law enforcement, but I have no clue what service members go through. So to be able to watch actors like David Boreanaz, Max Theriot, AJ Buckley, all those guys, they really put their heart and soul into each episode they do. So just to stand there and watch them and to be part of that and watch to see what they do. Once again, I'm trying to help tell a story as they are with everything that goes on with our service members and the PTSD and the missions that they go through, how to keep us all safe. That show, doing military shows and films is my most favorite thing to do, because we owe our very livelihood to our men and women in service, because they're the ones who are responsible for keeping us safe at night. They're the ones who allow me to go lay my head on my pillow and go to sleep with a free conscience, and to be able to wake up in the morning free and to go do acting and do the things that I love while still being safe.
También quisiera decirle la última pregunta porque Men, es que, bueno, ya hablamos de casi toda su carrera, pero hay 3 proyectos que me tiene demasiado hypeado y yo creo que Andrés también. Primero, hablemos sobre, bueno, esa es la primera que ahí se menciona, está un segmento con, obviamente, un recuerdo del Roger Sidar, también está Clint Eastwood y muchos personajes más. Men. Entonces yo quisiera preguntarle sobre cómo fue el poder involucrarse en el proyecto y qué nos espera, y también que definen una palabra estas 2 últimas que vienen, que la verdad, increíble, man.
Man, we know that somehow we not your whole career, like you say, you got a lot of projects, but somehow we talk about like ages. And as a final, if you can define in one word or few words about these nets that will come that are I was on Righteous and Radical, the New Hands, and Suicide by Cut. Go ahead.
A friend, my brother's friend that he went to high school with, has been producing and directing for quite a few years, and he actually called me because I had found out that he was a producer. I started getting into acting. The New Hands was one of my very first films that I had done as well, when I was just first starting out, and he called me and said, "Hey, I have this one role. You obviously look like a law enforcement guy. You look like a cop. So I want you to play the detective in this." And I immediately said, yes, of course, because I wanted to get the experience, get around all the people, go work for my brother's friend. So now we're good friends. That was a good film. And the producer of that film and I are currently making a film. We're getting everything together to hopefully make another military film. So that's that with New Hands. Awesomely Righteous Radical. That one was just more of a shout out, thank you, to help them expose their film. So there was really no involvement per se in that one. And then Suicide by Cop was second film that I did with the director that I worked with on Court of Appeals. Or I'm sorry. Yeah, Court of Appeals. Same director, same production company. That one also touches on a police officer's inner struggles and struggles with life as well. So I got to work with Vernon Wells. He's a phenomenal actor. He's been in Mad Max, the second Mad Max film way back in the 80s or 70s. I forgot which one it is. But that was a good film. And then he was also in the film Commando with Arnold Schwarzenegger. So to be able to work with an A-lister like that in that film, that's the best thing I've ever had so far. I get to work with a few celebrities, but that man, I would love to work with him again. That one is actually like one that I have on like my top shelf of films that I like to do. Suicide by Cop, though, working with those people, I'll work with them any day of the week. Phenomenal people. I can't say good enough things about them. But Suicide by Cop, like I said, that's one of my top shelf ones that I'll always hold dear to my heart. It should be coming out soon too. I don't think it's released yet, but it should be coming out pretty soon. It's almost being finished. But when it does come out, that one's going to be a good one.
Edith, la verdad le agradecemos mucho este espacio, la verdad estamos muy contentos y hombre, quisiera que nos diera tus redes sociales, un saludo para Colombia y bueno, ya dijiste tu proyecto, no hay que decirlo, sino tus redes sociales y bueno, y es un honor.
So tell us your social media so people can follow you. Send a big hi to Colombia, to the channel, to wherever you want. And if you want the people be ready to some projects, go ahead. The camera is yours, man.
Oh, beautiful. Thank you so much. So first off, thank you guys for having me on here. I really appreciate that. I love you guys for taking the time to sit and talk with me. You guys are awesome. To the people of Colombia, you guys are awesome. I'd love to come down and shoot a film with anybody down there. I've never been to South America before, so I'd love to come down there and see all the beautiful sights and all the beautiful people, especially the food. I'm a big food person, so I'd love to come down and eat some good food. But currently right now is I did a film called Collector. It's a short film that is going through the film festival circuit right now. We're trying to blow that up into a much bigger film, feature-length film, where I play a cop again. But the biggest production that I'm working on right now was, like I said, my friend and producer from the New Hands called me a couple years ago and asked me to help him produce a film called Beyond Mosul, as in Mosul, Iraq. And it is another military film that is based around PTSD and the effects that it has on service members. And it also focuses on, it's kind of like, this film is going to kind of be like the film Inglourious Bastards that Quentin Tarantino did, because there's 3 or 4 characters. I don't want to say too much, but there's 3 or 4 characters. One is a U.S. military service member. One is a Peshmerga fighter, which is a freedom fighter over there in Iraq, a Syrian refugee, and then I forgot what the other one is, but the film will touch on every single one of their stories, and they all run concurrent throughout the film, and they all intersect at the end of the film. So, but each one specifically touches on each person's different aspect of PTSD and how war and all these bad things affect different people. That film is set to be a major production. We're currently going through investment right now to see if we can get capital financing for it, but I can't say too much more. But that one right there is like, that's actually my first film that I'm actually helping produce on a major scale. So that one's been very, very tough, but it's worth it. And to all of you and everybody, I hope that this film, Beyond Mosul, will be able to reach an international market where you guys can watch that film. And hopefully I'll be able to come down there and say hi to everybody in person, and you guys can all watch the film.
Ok, Eddie, gracias por esta maravillosa oportunidad. God bless you, man, y feliz semana.
Thank you so much.
God bless you, Dios te bendiga. Have a great week, man. And you're always welcome here, man.
You as well. Thank you so much. God bless you guys. Be safe.
Be safe, man.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.